An officer is significant. Spiritual court is now in session. All right, let's see. Tell us more, Holy Spirit. You could be the officer, or there's some type of crooked cop up in this shit. Let's see. Oh, mass arrest, and they're about to go on the run. Oh my goodness. They know it was coming for them. And we have here business fraud. They committed business fraud. Okay, tell us more. So let's put that right there. Okay, this could be the PPP loan thing. Look, oh my God. All right, it says here they're being watched by the police. All right, so the PPP thing that I was posting the other day, that there's been, how many? 200,000 warrants went out for the people that committed this business fraud. It happened, it started in the pandemic. It was a pandemic like relief loan, and a lot of people was just getting it, pretending like they had businesses. A lot of people, you know, they got it in other people's names. All right, so for some of y'all, this is why it keeps coming out, because one of these karmics, they got this business loan, this PPP loan, in your name or in your business. Okay, look, we have an older male. It's significant. Tell me more. Wow, we have an informant. Okay, this informant been coming out all week that this informant is involved. They're buckling under pressure because, yeah, again, they see that there's going to be mass arrests. Okay, they're having legal troubles. They cannot get out of this one. That's why they're planning to go on the run. And we have here, they hacked your devices, your accounts, or your something that they hacked here. Okay, and this could be how they got this business loan in your name. And they have been being watched by the police the whole time. Okay, so let's pull some other cards and see what we get. What can we get with this buckling under pressure, Holy Spirit? Let's see what else we could get from that. They're burning documents, okay? So they're trying to burn evidence, okay? That's why they're buckling under pressure, because, again, there's legal problems here. There's legal troubles. They cannot, you know, pay their way out of this. They cannot run from this. They cannot burn evidence. They're already being watched. And there is going to be mass arrests. So it's like the time is like, they feel like the clock is clicking. I was going to say kicking. All right, it's kicking their ass, that's for sure. All right, so that's why they're buckling under pressure. All right, you could be speaking the truth about something that they're doing, and that's putting even more pressure on them. All right, you could be, you know, speaking about what they did, you know, giving your testimony. We have here a baby boomer, somebody that was born between 1946 and 1964 is significant. Again, this could be maybe this older male here. This could be you. All right, what do we have here? So they did an animal sacrifice to beat the case. Oh my God. So they did some type of animal sacrifice. Okay. This could be, what is it? This could have been done on the full moon a couple days ago. So they're doing animal sacrifices. You know, they're burning evidence. They are buckling under pressure. It's like nothing is working. Tell us more. Stealing at work. Okay, so somebody was stealing at work. This could be hacking the account. Somebody could work at the bank. Maybe they had access to do some type of, you know, scamming with your information, because it says here they hacked some type of accounts. All right, what can we get with they hacked the accounts? The crooked judge will get disbarred and prison. What? I don't know if the judge is gonna go to prison, but maybe. Okay. It says here there's a crooked judge. This is connected to the, again, this could be stealing at work in a sense that they was getting money for allowing, you know, the karmics to get certain information, for them to sign off on shit, you know, approving things. They was a part of this. So they are going to get disbarred and thrown in prison. Okay. That's for somebody. It's hard to get a judge thrown in prison, but listen, if there's evidence, it's over. All right. And they're trying to burn some type of evidence here, and it's not going to work. And the animal sacrifice ain't going to work either. All right. Let's see. Tell me more. There's, look, I just said there's evidence, right? We have here group chat evidence. So they cannot burn the evidence. They cannot get rid of the group chat evidence either, because it's already like on a server or some shit. All right. They put you in a fake marriage to be able to steal your inheritance. So this is about an inheritance. That's why they're buckling under pressure, because somebody left you something with the documents. This could be, you know, the will. There could be like an original will somewhere that says you are the beneficiary, and they put you in a fake marriage just to be able to take what was left for you. All right. It could have been money. It could have been a house. It could have been a lot of things. Whatever it is, take it how it resonates. But that's what they did. So for fun, let's see how this is going to turn out. I already know that it's not going to work, but we're going to pull the cards and see what comes out. Let's see, Holy Spirit. Let's see. All right, Spirit, how is this going to go? This animal, this poor animal that they sacrificed to beat this case. How is the case gonna go? Is it going to, you know, are they going to be victorious or what? Basically, you know, is the sacrifice rejected or accepted? Show us. Okay, so we have here the Seven of Wands. We have here the King of Wands reversed. So this is like, you see that in the upright, this is a leader. The leader, all right? The one who thinks that he's in control, okay? This could also be a cult leader. Like if they work, you know, with some type of cult leader or a male practitioner, a priest, you know. This is that person. All right, so the Seven of Wands, this is them doing this. All right, and we got the Strength card in the reverse. So the Strength card in the reverse is like they're not gonna have the endurance, you know, to keep this going when it comes to some type of judgment. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Oh my God, it's like a story. The Ace of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Look how this is going to end up. They're going straight to prison. This is them not being able to have a breakthrough. Upright is a breakthrough. You see how it says victory? In the reverse, they're not getting victory. They're going to be confused like, damn, I made, you know, all this, all these sacrifices and all this shit when it comes to this judgment, this case. And I'm going to end up going to prison anyways. Look at that shit. Imprisonment. You cannot make this up. Wow. All right. So that's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. And look, talking about what happened, you could have said that this was going to happen, and it's happening. You said they was going to end up in prison. You said that you was going to get your money back. It's happening. Your intuition was always on point. They say you was crazy, but it was because they was trying to throw you off, because you was actually picking up on what they're doing. Your spirit team has always been trying to let you know that, listen, they stole that shit from you. they stole from you, and they did this and that. All right. And you've been seeing readings, you know, you've been getting dream messages. You've been seeing things. People been saying things. You've been listening. Like, things been getting your attention. And you're like, oh, like now you're paying attention. And you're like, oh, okay. So that's what's going on here. Yup. That's what's going on here. It's downhill from here. All right. We have the rat. One of these years are significant. Somebody was born in one of these years, or something significant happened in one of these years. Okay. But it is all downhill from here. Tell us more. And also with that rat energy, there is, again, someone who's an informant, and they're going to start snitching on each other. So they're just going to end each other. All of them are just going to, you know, just take each other out. All right, somebody with a Subaru vehicle is significant. And again, this keeps coming out about doctoring your photos or just doctoring some type of documents. Okay, trying to like, you know, get rid of some type of evidence. And if it is your photos, we got here someone who's ex-military. It's like they're trying, you know, and this is like not for everybody, but there is someone out there that they're trying to make you look like a prostitute or, you know, an addict or something. And they are using AI to do that. All right. So that they could be able to keep up some type of narrative that they are telling everybody about you to be able to get this money. All right. Again, a POA could be significant. If it comes out, we're going to see the power of attorney. You know, like that's why we keep getting that. That's the energy of that. That's for somebody. And look, evidence keeps coming out. All right. They keep on doctoring shit. It don't matter. There's evidence on the phone, on a server. It's just like there's no getting rid of it. And it's going to be traced back to the karmics. That's why we have, again, that they are going to all get locked up in this group activity. All right, let's do this again. Tell us more, Holy Spirit. It's like the cards just want to fly out. Tell us more. Their downfall is inevitable. All right, somebody's stepfather is significant. Yeah, their downfall is inevitable. They was able to get away with this for a while because they had connections and all that other stuff. But that's it. Now it's time to pay up. All right, let's see. What else? What about these legal troubles, Holy Spirit? Legal troubles for the karmics. A wealthy man, okay? What about this wealthy man with these legal troubles? They got a message, so they got like some type of message of concern. 137, 173 could be significant. 1973. I was going to say 11, and look, 11, wealth. So look, this man is getting a message about some type of money. We have here occupation. Looks, and then we got 7 and 4, 11, okay? 11, 11, November, Sagittarius, Scorpio could be significant. Something about November, okay? But there's something here. This is also getting my attention. The C, the letter M. This could even be an email because it does not look like the Gmail. They're like an email thing. So they could have gotten an email about something regarding their job. We have occupation, and then we have courtship and some type of money. All right, so the email could be this message here. Let's see. What about this courtship? What is it with this courtship? Was somebody dating somebody in their job? What is courtship? Look at that. The privileged lady and the official person. So it's a couple here. They was waiting for some type of money. And that's the message, that they're not going to get this money. So this is for somebody, all right, at work. We already see here, stealing at work. They was waiting for some type of sudden wealth. 7-11 could be significant. July 11, okay, Cancer energy. Okay. 12-22, Capricorn energy as well. Again, more Sagittarius, December. So this couple here, this privileged lady, this wealthy man. So this could be this official person, or this is 3 people. They're waiting. They was waiting for some type of money that they were supposed to get from their job. Okay? Unexpected income, but it's really expected because they was waiting for that shit. Yeah, look, we got sudden wealth. And 11 keeps coming out. Again, sudden wealth again, double confirmation. All right? 27, 777. Like, a lot of numbers about wealth, prosperity, money. So, they're having problems now. Let's dig a little deeper. So, this is part of their karma. That they was doing something at work that could have been like illegal as well. They were stealing here, stealing some type of money, and that's how they was wealthy, by doing something at the job. All right. So now let's see what's going to happen with this legal trouble and this money from the job, from this occupation. What's going to happen with that, Holy Spirit? Oh, there's going to be endings here. What do we have here? The strength card. So they're going to have the inner strength. That's what I'm getting right now. Okay. We have here the three. It could be three people with the Three of Cups. It's the third party. So yeah. So three people. 1, 2, and then 3. These 3 people at somebody's job that was working together to steal. Look, there's gonna be an ending, and this, I know that it says here the lovers, but the lovers sometime is a contract. All right, it doesn't say it here either, but it's a detachment. It's a bad choice, right? It's a commitment, but a commitment to the job. So I feel like these people are gonna get fired. Yeah, and they're gonna lose money with the Queen of Pentacles reverse. They're gonna be going through financial problems because they were so greedy. All right, this couple here, that's the financial blockage that's gonna happen to them, to the couple, and to this other guy that was working together at the job. Okay, so that's gonna be their karma. That's for somebody. So people are gonna be getting locked up. People are gonna be losing their jobs. They're not gonna have, this wealth that they had at one point. So it's just karma is what Spirit is showing us. Let's see what else. Yeah, look, desperation is kicking in. Yeah, buckling under pressure, desperation. That's what's going to start happening. That they're going to become so desperate because they're not going to have no money coming in. They're not going to be able to steal the money that they took from you. Like if they have it in another account somewhere overseas, they're not going to have access. So they're going to start going crazy. That's their karma. That's part of their karma. To really feel it, Look, on the run, you see what I'm saying? To really feel it. They're going to feel it and they're going to try to go on the run. And we got more confirmation that they're going to try to go on the run. So this one says that they're going to try to go to a country that they cannot be extradited from. All right. So that's not going to work. Every time, yeah, they're in denial because every time that I check, it shows us that they're not going to be able to run. It says here, look, in denial, and they want to make amends now because they know that they fucked up. You see this shit? They know that they fucked up. Again, desperation, planning to go on the run. This is so crazy. You should not, do not. Look, and we have business partner. So for some of y'all, it's a business partner of yours. Okay, we got a couple of things here. We got the inheritance, and then we got this business fraud. So this could be, again, someone in your family or someone, taking how it resonates. This could be another thing that somebody did here to you, that you was trying to open up a business with them and they just ran off with the business, with the LLC or something, and they win and they got a PPP loan and they got all this money or something like that. Because I got here business partner. All right, we have fraud attorney. So there's going to be a fraud attorney that is significant. Again, we got business fraud attorney. Somebody planned an overdose. They're going to lose the court case. Look, confirmation that what I just picked up here. They are going to lose this court case, all right? They're not going to have this victory, okay? And then it says here, straight, this is exactly right here what I said, that they're going to go straight to prison. But this one says straight to protective custody. So it's very specific in prison that they're not going to be in general population with the homies and everybody else, like they're going to be in protective custody, probably because they're scared or something. They're gonna be scared, but that's what's gonna happen. That animal sacrifice, it was for nothing, and that animal is gonna haunt them in their sleep. Let's see. Libra, Scorpio. I mentioned Scorpio earlier. They're having constant panic attacks. So you see how this keeps coming out in different ways, that they know that they fucked up. They're buckling under pressure. And there was another card. Where's the other card? That they're going on the run. Like it's just a lot of cards about them like stressed the fuck out right now. Look, they hired a lawyer. They're panicking because, again, they know that they fucked up. The lawyer is not going to get them out of this. Somebody is going to be life in prison with no parole. Look at that. Delayed justice is now justice multiplied with even more charges piled on. And that's what I was saying. Like, it's a lot of different charges here, a lot of different things. It could all be one group, or it's different groups. You take what resonates, people doesn't. But we got a lot of different fraud. It's definitely giving crime ring here. And this was delayed justice, but it's really God's plan, because now this is like there's multiplied charges here. It's more shit that's going to really, get them really, get them in there, and they're not gonna be able to get out. Okay, like we see here, life in prison, no parole. Yeah, look, and they're gonna be crying. They're gonna be at church if they're not already crying with this sad news. They know what's coming to them, and there's no amount of prayers that's gonna get them out of this, because God already warned these people. They know what they was doing. All right, they know what they was doing. They didn't care. They wanted to get away with what they was doing, and now look. What else, Holy Spirit? All right, we have here a polygraph test. So somebody is going to fail a lie detector test. They're desperately trying to keep their position of power. Okay, so yeah, again, desperation kicking in. All of this energy keeps coming out about these people. They want to keep their position of power. They want to keep living this wealthy life, this lifestyle that they was getting from what they stole from you. And now they're going crazy. Okay, they're having even panic attacks and shit. All right, because they know what's coming. So now there's something here about a lie detector test, and it looks like they're gonna lie. They're gonna lie and they're gonna get caught with something. Let's see what comes out with this lie detector test. Holy Spirit, what can we get with this polygraph lie detector test? What is this about? We got here the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is what they did. Okay, so this could be for the stealing at work, because this is what they did to get out of financial blockages. Like this is somebody who's broke with the Five of Pentacles. They're broke. It says here isolated and alone, but in the financial sense, the Pentacles is money, and the Five of Pentacles is them being broke. Okay, so something that they did to get money. So this is connecting with the polygraph here. All right, so this is what the test is about. I don't know if they do that. Like, do they do that? I'm trying to think of the shows that I be watching on YouTube with the shit that be happening at work, if they do polygraph tests. But listen, there's something here with them being broke and a polygraph test, what they did for money. Yeah, look, surveillance. And then we got here road. All right, so road, again, trying to go on the run. They gonna fail the test, but they was already being watched. And then look, wow. Travel. Unexpected people, events, messages, travel, or situations. They was not expecting this to happen. All right, maybe if they was planning to pass the polygraph test, like they told themselves that they could do that they could be calm, and that they're not gonna they're not gonna trigger the test or something. They fucked up. All right, it was unexpected, and they're gonna try to go on the run. All right, we got people hiring lawyers. All right, something about them being on camera for what they did for money to get out of this financial struggle. They did something, and it's on camera. So can't run, karmics. Okay, let's see what else. Let me see where I'm gonna pull from. Anything else, Holy Spirit? Somebody's paternal half brother is significant. So this is the same father, different mother, brother. Sending you a cease and desist letter to shut you up from speaking the truth. This is a bully tactic, a scare tactic. So again, shame the devil and speak the truth. You see that? They don't want you to speak the truth. You could have a platform. You could be a tarot reader like me. You could be exposing the wicked. All right? Ephesians 5:11. Expose the motherfucking wicked. All right? That's what you're doing out here in these streets. Okay? And they don't like that. So they're going to try to send you a cease and desist letter. And you're going to tell them, listen, cease and desist that letter and shove it up your ass. All right, like, let's be for real. All right, we have here a journey. Again, this person, they're gonna try to go on the run. We got the road here. They could be trying to travel by boat, by road. It's gonna be different for everybody. But we got here to another country, so they're gonna be trying to get up out of here, and they're not gonna be able to go anywhere. They're a part of a RICO. Their money is locked, seized, and they also lock their assets. So again, look at that. Confirmation that they're not going to be able to go nowhere, okay? Because they're part of a RICO. They're under investigation. Their money's locked. They have nowhere to go. All right. A male pedo is significant. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius man is significant. Anything else? Somebody with a Lexus car is significant. Spirit is saying that this was a deliberate and calculated choice against you. To do this, to steal from you, this whole thing that your family did, and whoever else is involved, it was not a mistake, basically. All right. Again, they want to make amends. They know that they fucked up. So Spirit is letting you know, don't let that shit gas you. Don't be soft with these people, because these people knew exactly what they was doing, and they're only coming to you now because they know that they fucked up. All right. A roofer is significant. And look, travel restrictions while awaiting trial. You cannot make this up. They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. Travel restrictions. Look at that. I'm telling you, they're not going nowhere. All right. So let me pull some names. Holy Spirit. If you see your name here, this is giving you confirmation that there's a message here for you. If you see a karmic's name, this is your confirmation they're involved. And if you don't see any name, it's okay. This is just another layer of confirmation for somebody. Take what resonates from this message and leave what does not. Okay. Connor, Candace, Claude, Aubrey, Zachary, Brittany, Latricia, Noel, Gibbons, Jaden, Ruby, DeVille, Joel, Thompson, Carol, DeSalvo, Burley, Cindy, Holly, Clara, Danny, Omar, Vance. Okay. La Antigua, Sarita, AJ, Faye, Nancy, Rafael, Rojas, Cynthia, Davis, Roxanne, Mello, Antonio, Man, Estelle, Milagros, Jade, Charlotte, Tyrese, Jones, Logan, Steele, Leonard, and Morrison. Kate, Vera, Young Me, Doug, Lydia, Win, Santiago, Nasim, Toya, Tony, Joy, Rosie, Darren, Tisha, Kimball, Frida, Cordero, Ciara, Lorraine, Jamar, Trevino, Joan, Watkins, and Sabrina. Cheryl, York, Tracy, Sherman, Shannon, Vince, Terry, Nakima, Grace, Baldwin, Gardner, Morang, Roy, Latoya, Ava, Kenny, Pacheco, Emily, Newton, Chuck, Takara, Tara, and York. All right, y'all. So that's what I got here. I hope I was able to bring clarity and confirmation to whoever needed to receive this message. Spiritual court is now adjourned. Peace.